Hello everyone, this is Oscar from Oscar's Realm, and welcome to Top 5 Creepiest Designs in All Horror. This includes TV shows, video games, movies, and pretty much anything you can think of. Horror has been around for many years and decades now, and over that time, it has given us some truly terrifying designs and also ones that are just downright cool. And we'll be getting into all of those in this video. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Number 5 is the xenomorph from Alien. Now, the xenomorph is a very cool and unnerving creature from the movie Alien back in the 70s. It is basically just a giant insect-looking thing with a giant spike for a tail. But it also has a weirdly shaped head and a mouth that comes out of its mouth. This is one of the most iconic designs in all sci-fi and horror, and for good reason because it is really terrifying, but it also just looks super badass, and I think that's really cool. Number 4 on the list is 2017's Pennywise. Now, while Tim Curry terrified kids back in the 90s with Pennywise, his portrayal was a lot more of a comedic portrayal, and instead of looking terrifying, he looked like an actual clown. But, however, this guy, Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise, is about the creepiest thing ever. He is a creepy, old-timey looking, just super creepy looking clown who has a very creepy voice and can literally take the shape of whatever you're most afraid of. In the film, his shapes include a leper, a headless boy, and of course, a creepy clown. Probably the scariest form he takes. Now, yeah, while this was very terrifying back then, it'll probably still continue to be terrifying. I can't believe it has been 4 years since that movie came out. I also enjoyed the 2019 sequel, just not quite as much as the first one. Number 3 is Der Clown from Krampus. Easily way more terrifying than the titular character of this film, Der Clown is a horrifying 7-foot-long jack-in-the-box with weird snake-like body and a clown for its top half. When you unwind the box, he comes out of it, and he's obviously way too big to fit in that box. He eats kids because his mouth expands to like a ridiculous size. He has pitch black eyes, weird tiny arms that are not proportionate to his body at all, and let's not forget that his facial design is super creepy and awesome looking. His mouth just literally unhinges, and his face always looks like there's something inside of it. It looks like he's some kind of weird snake monster with a clown mask on. While we never see the mask come off, he is still terrifying and can apparently slither at like 20 miles per hour. He can move insanely fast at any given moment, which is very bad for something that is literally trying to eat you. Number 2 on the list is Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story. This is one of the most terrifying clowns of all time, and easily the best thing about Freak Show season from AHS. Now, Twisty is a very terrifying and misunderstood character, as before he was a killer, he was just a normal, friendly clown who worked at a circus, until some just sadistic freaks decided to frame him for pedophilia. He decided to put a shotgun in his mouth because his mother had died and he had nowhere to go. He failed at suicide and just blew off the entire bottom half of his face. He then decided to cover that up with a prosthetic mask, but when kids no longer wanted to be entertained by him, he slowly went insane and kidnapped children and took them to his trailer in the middle of the woods, where he thought he was entertaining them, when really, he was being so terrifying, he was just making them cry. Now, he is truly one of the most terrifying characters of all time, but the weird thing about it is that you really feel sympathy for him after you learn his backstory. In the first few episodes, you just think he's a horrible monster with no redeeming qualities, but then we learn that he has a truly awful backstory, and he's really not one of the most evil characters at all. But he still had to pay for his crimes in episode 4. Number 1 on the list is the Reaper puppet. From a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, the Reaper puppet is just really creepy and awesome. He looks like he has a squid body, creepy jerky arms, a skeletal torso with ribs sticking out of it. His bones are just sticking out all over the place. But the creepiest thing about this is that he's like 7 feet tall. And that terrifying mask. Seriously, look at that thing. That mask is the stuff of nightmares. It looks like if you took a clown, added the ghost filter, and then just stretched its face completely out. I think this is one of the coolest designs ever, and there's a thing in Gmod where you can actually like morph into him, and he is one of the creepiest things ever, especially when he's moving. If you think he looks creepy now, just see him when he's moving. He is so much worse then. Yeah, I really recommend playing Final Night's game, mostly for this character. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this, be sure to give it a like, and leave a comment if you want to see a part 2 of this video. I will see you in the next video. Peace.